So here we have the HTC One X. This is our super phone. It's under 9mm thick. Really gone for a thin design on here, with the screen almost falling over the edge here. And it's shiny. It's polycarbonate, but it's shiny on the sides, but matte on the back. And the reason we've done that is, when you're holding it in your hand, it feels like the screen and the sides are one thing, and then the back is non-slip. So, just tries to make sense. These pogo pins on here, so that both us and other people can make things to connect to the device without having to use the micro SD, which is also a MHL adapter. 8MP camera, but with an f2.0 lens. It's also got a backlight sensor, and it's got a 28mm wide-angle lens. So it all goes hand in hand with our software to try and make the best camera experience we can. We think 8MP is easily enough. There were over 50 billion uploads to Facebook from phones last year, and then they're going to be nowhere near 8MP. But having a better lens, quicker camera is really what will make the difference. It's obviously got an NVIDIA quad-core processor. It's actually a 4+1. So you should get really good battery life, because a lot of the time it will be on that companion core, but then it can spike on any one of those cores when you open something or when you're doing something, right up to when you're playing a massive game, and it'll use all 4 of those cores. So it's really our powerhouse. It has things like NFC. We use new materials to try and keep it super thin and super light, but it's really got everything in there. Very simplified sense, you know, and a very simplified design ethos, but with absolutely everything you could possibly want from a smartphone. It's got 32 gig onboard memory. It's got a 4.7-inch display, but that's a full 720p high-def display, and it's a super LCD too. One thing which I should definitely tell you about is we've gone onboard memory, 32GB, easy enough for most people, but we also have 25GB of Dropbox. So the 25GB of Dropbox is open. Anyone can have that if they paid a bit of money, you know, 5 gig for free. But we've also integrated it into the phone. So I could have auto-upload of those photos to Dropbox. I could have auto-upload later when I turn Wi-Fi on. I could also, if I wanted to send you a file from my Dropbox, I wouldn't have to download it onto my phone and then send it on. I could send you a link just to that one item, and it's totally secure. You could just have one item downloads and access to my Dropbox. Then we have things on the device like running programs, slightly changed UI, things on here like our Music Hub, really to try and bring everything into one place and make sense of the device. So I do this is we've got things in the One series that are across the board, and the camera really is one of those things. So no matter which one of the devices you have the same abilities to have things like full slow motion video record in full HD. And the way we're doing that is we have a HTC image sensing chip, and it will actually take a raw image into the device, and then it'll use that raw image to make a JPEG rather than taking a JPEG. So it just means we end up with a much cleaner image. It means because it's not using the processor itself, it's using a separate chip to process that. It means it can, throughout the range, we can have those very fast 0.2 seconds between photos and things that make the difference.